morning, love.
Somebody connect my hose and turn me on. Right, you've got full battery. Okay. How's that feel?
Handover, and the incoming team will work 12 hours, trying to save the desperately ill.
And in 12, there's another level 2 patient, again on a lot of oxygen, on a lot of CPAP, and needs to do more proning today.
Sophia?
Sophia's patient, not an old man by any means, has been in intensive care on a ventilator for a month.
Morning, my darling. Hello. My name is Sophia. I'm your nurse for today. How are you? You're in the intensive care unit in Salisbury Hospital. And today is the 19th of January.
Complete vigilance is required because even this battery of equipment can't save him from respiratory failure.
And just put this suction on you and see how much it is.
That noise, they call it bubbling, is caused by a build-up of fluid in the lungs. Sophia draws it out to keep him alive.
Well done.
And with the bubbling, you were drawing fluid off his chest, is that right, off his lungs?
Exactly, yeah. So this is the secretions that they've got in the lungs as a result of the inflammation that the COVID has triggered.
Across the ward, the trajectory is better. Nick is making great strides. How long have you been in intensive care? Were you admitted straight into intensive care or were you on a ward first?
No, I was straight in here. I think it was Friday evening. And I'll be honest, I didn't think I was going to make it the night. I was that ill. And then it's been all slowly uphill afterwards. So I say this morning was the first time I've got out of bed and had a walk and that, so I'm very happy at the moment.
Nick's hoping that this shift might see him released from ICU. They're managing people here on widely differing trajectories, some getting better, some getting worse, and all you can really hope for on a shift in this ward is that at the end the score is in your favour. More patients improved and discharged to other wards than getting worse or possibly passing away. Consultant Phil Donnison has gone to talk to a patient who's going downhill. It's time to persuade Mike, as we'll call him, that to survive he needs to enter the COVID netherworld. Heavy sedation and a breathing tube.
Do you want to talk to Jim? Just texting.
Yeah, is that because he's so short of breath? Yeah. Would you like us to phone your wife? Yeah, we can do that, of course. And tell her that we're going to send her off to sleep.
Mike agrees to general anaesthetic and intubation, a state from which a significant minority never awaken. It's clearly a very difficult conversation because at that moment where the person goes under, they don't know if they're going to come out of it, do they?
No, they don't, and we don't either.
Dealing with COVID has meant more than doubling the size of Salisbury's intensive care unit. They've done it by taking over neighbouring operating theatres. And while kit can be put into place, the usual ratio of one intensive care nurse per patient has been lost. Intensive care nurse Sue Crocombe came back from retirement 8 months ago and is dealing with these new realities.
Just get rid of that. You're doing well. You're safe. You're really safe. Your wife knows you're here. She sends her love, okay? Can you squeeze my hand if you can hear me? Lovely, I've got that, yeah.
This patient, we'll call him Jim, is being readied for extubation, having sedation dialed back and a breathing tube removed. Sue's overseeing him and another patient in this operating theatre. And how has it been, the second wave? How tough has it been to...
It's much tougher. The patients are younger as well, we're seeing. Yeah, it's much tougher. We are getting the support, deployed nurses, but not the same in the first wave. I don't know whether that's because theatre shut, everything shut down, so there were more nurses.
Clinical psychologist Kate Jenkins works with hospital staff. The current crisis, she believes, is taking a heavy toll.
As of January, our staff referrals to clinical psychology were up 1,400% on the year previously. That gives you some indication. I'd say that everybody is feeling it to some degree. Probably 10 to 20% are requiring some sort of formal intervention.
We're just doing a ward round, we'll chat about everyone, we'll just have a look at all your tests and things and then see the plan from there, all right?
The consultant begins his round of the ward, trailed by staff assessing who's getting worse and who's on the mend. For Nick, it's good news.
I feel really brilliant today. So, like I say, I'm desperately hoping to get onto a ward.
I think that's what we're trying to do for you.
Is it? Well, that would be very nice.
10 hours into the shift, Sue's patient, who we're calling Jim, has had his breathing tube removed.
I'm close to tears actually, because I'm just so tired. It's been really busy. It's been good that we've been able to take the tube out. We're not out of the woods yet, so he's been a bit challenging in the period since we've taken the tube out.
The outlook should be positive, but Jim is distressed.
Joanne, do you think you could just get somebody up there?
Looks like he's struggling a bit, he's got a bit of noisy breathing. You're going to put him back off to sleep. Ready, set, start.
The uncertainties of this disease are all too clear. A good day can be followed by a rapid decline. It's necessary for the ICU team to keep an eagle eye all the time. John is another patient they're watching closely. He'd been awake throughout the shift and really wanted to talk to us. When did you come down with this? I mean, how long have you been sick?
Oh, about 10 days, I think. But I've only been here about 3 or 4. So yeah, tried holding on, and then it just hits you. Don't know if you're coming or going.
Sorry, Don, I don't think we can chat at the moment. Your sats are a bit low.
Okay.
Sorry,
guys.
Sorry, Don.
Sorry.
Take a deep breath. There's no talking. There you go, coming up already.
At the moment, it's where he's not proned, where he's not face down. His breathing really suffers, but he can't stay on his front 24 hours a day, and both for his sake and things like eating, drinking, that kind of thing, it is much easier if he's not on his front. But I'm just hoping we can keep it as short as possible, which is why he's having some food at the moment.
And then prone again?
And then, yeah, as soon as I can, really.
Back on his front and on oxygen, John's a fighter, and he wants to chat again.
There's no pain, there's nothing. You know, it's just this silly little thing inside, you know, apart from that, I'm all good. Get told to slow down on my speaking, got to concentrate more on my breathing, but yeah, like this, it's fine.
I think that's probably a good moment for us to stop asking you questions then. Good luck, John. The shift is coming towards its end. There have been a couple more admissions, and that's meant shuttling beds around. As for discharges, they're waiting for beds to become available. 2 people have died in the hospital this day, neither though in the intensive care unit.
It's not been a bad shift. Plenty went on today, but it felt okay actually.
And what of the people who work in here, taking the strain day after day?
What are you most looking forward to being able to do again?
Well, being able to get closer to my patients, not wearing these hoods, at least the masks, being able to hug my colleagues.
Just before the end of the shift, a bed opens up for Nick. He's off.
Well, that's all the best.
Thank you.
Taking with him a sense of overwhelming gratitude to those who saved him.
Absolutely unbelievable. They've got the hardest job in the world and they're just so dedicated, it's unreal.
As the evening handover begins, Mike and Jim are both back in the suspended animation of general anaesthetic. For days or weeks, nobody knows. The next shift takes on the struggle to keep them alive, 12 hours at a time.